All right, time for the Week 4 picks. Let's see if we can't make a little bit of money. 3-1 last week puts us back in the black for the season. Let's see if we can't build on that success. There are 4 games I like on Sunday. I guess 3 games on Sunday and the Monday night game to be exact. Let's start with the Seattle Seahawks on the road facing the Houston Texans. Seattle a 2.5-point favorite on BETDAQ. I like Houston in this game. Very rare that we get the opportunity to back the Texans as a home dog. They actually haven't been an underdog at home since the 2011-2012 season. And Seattle's viewed right now as the best team in the NFC. It's understandable why everybody's jumping on that Seahawks bandwagon now. 2 consecutive blowout wins. Both of those wins were in Seattle, though. Might I remind you, Seahawks a much different team on the road. They were only 3-5 on the road last season. They were undefeated at home. Their only road game this year, an ugly 12-7 win over the Carolina Panthers. I think Seattle's great success this season, combined with Houston struggling, even though they've won 2 out of the first 3 games, they've struggled so far this season. I think that has created opportunity here. Houston as a home underdog, I believe, is a good play. Next game I want to talk about, Indianapolis Colts traveling to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars. Colts a 9.5-point favorite on BETDAQ, and I like the Colts to cover this number. I mean, fade the Jags has been an extremely profitable strategy so far. It's won all 3 times and won easily, and I see no reason to back off this week. The numbers are slowly starting to catch up to just how bad the Jags are, but they're not there yet. And if you haven't seen the Jags play, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you'll see them play in a couple of weeks when they come over to England. I think that might turn an entire continent off of American football. The Jags, absolutely brutal this year, the worst offense in the league by a wide margin. They're only averaging 230 total yards per game. Every one of their games has been an offensive disaster. They're also last in the NFL in rush defense. So even though this is a division rival that Indianapolis has struggled against recently, Jacksonville taking 3 out of the 4 games in this 3 out of the last 4 games in this rivalry, I think the Colts are going to win big on Sunday. I like them covering the 9.5 on the road in Jacksonville. Next game I want to talk about, New York Jets traveling to Tennessee to face the Titans. Titans installed as a 3.5-point favorite on BETDAQ. These 2 teams both surprises at 2-1. I like Tennessee in this spot. And, it's not that I'm anti-Jets. The Jets at home against Buffalo was my favorite bet of the week last week, and they did end up coming through for me. However, watching that game, I was reminded that the Jets are indeed the Jets. If you think the Jets have solved any of their offensive issues in terms of turnovers or not being able to move the ball, you would be incorrect. This offense looks very similar to last season's Mark Sanchez-led offense. Now, the Jets have been playing great defense, and so they've been able to pull out a couple of tight wins at home against teams that don't play very well on defense themselves. Tennessee does play well on defense. The Titans have a top 10 defense this season. This game obviously in Tennessee. Don't like Geno Smith and that New York Jets offense. Don't like their chances on the road in this spot. I do like Tennessee minus 3.5 over the Jets. Final game I want to talk about, the Monday night game. The Miami Dolphins going on the road to face the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans a 6.5-point favorite on BETDAQ. Both these teams undefeated. I like New Orleans to cover this number. Listen, I think the Dolphins are a good young team. They're fun to watch. They're not ready for a team like the New Orleans Saints on the road. Miami is a little overvalued in this spot. The Dolphins struggle in the secondary. Now, the offseason acquisition of Atlanta cornerback Brent Grimes has really helped. They're not quite as bad as they were last year in the secondary. But listen, last week, Matt Ryan led a depleted Atlanta offense up and down the field on this Miami defense. And there is no better passing offense in the NFL than Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, what they do. And the Saints at home, outside of Seattle, the Saints are the best home team in the league. The Saints 18-5 against the spread in their last 23 home games, despite being favored in 21 out of those 23 games. I expect Miami to score some points in this game. Just think the Saints are going to be too much for them. I do like New Orleans minus 6.5. There you have it. Those are my 4 best bets for Week 4. I like Houston plus 2.5 against Seattle. Indianapolis minus 9.5 on the road in Jacksonville. Tennessee minus 3.5 over the New York Jets. And New Orleans minus 6.5 on Monday night over the Miami Dolphins. I wish you best of luck this week and whatever you decide to do, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests.